Hello, Virgo. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Virgo is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider hitting the subscribe button, especially if this reading resonates with you. These readings are totally free. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading to try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Virgo, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And we start with an 8 of Wands. I feel like you feel a pressure inside. I feel there's motivation for you to get started doing something. We're very, very antsy about something. I feel like we're kind of like we got the jazz hands. We're kind of tap dancing on the shag carpet right now in anticipation for something. We're very excited about something and we just cannot wait for it. Let's see what's going on. Let's see why we feel this energy now and what we're going to do with it. We've got the Fool. Maybe we're excited for springtime. We've got the Devil energy. You've got a 10 of Cups. You've got a Hierophant. You've got an Ace of Swords. You've got a 7 of Swords. You've got a Princess of Swords. You got a Princess of Wands and a 5 of Wands. I think the 5 of Wands is very, very good because it's kind of like we're releasing that energy. Yeah. To me, it kind of feels like the Fool is one of those cartoons where we're just like revving up our energy and we're getting ready. We're gonna start. We're just gonna take off eventually. So I feel like you're starting something new. I feel like you are. You're coming off of a big kind of celebration or a big win in your life, and I think you're ready to begin a new path. You're ready to start on this new quest. I feel like the anxiety of the 8 of Wands is sort of like what we feel in between the last kind of task or the last phase, the last era of your life and the new one. We kind of feel this anticipation, like, we get the big win. You get the satisfaction from something. You cross the finish line. And then very soon you start to get kind of anxious. You start to get a little bit restless. We start to say, okay, I need another something to do, And then, of course, we get that Fool energy. And the Fool is just kind of up and running. The Fool, at first, doesn't have a sense of direction. It may be an indication that we really just need to get up and start moving. And the plan will sort of reveal itself as we go, I think you have an idea of what you want and kind of what the next phase, the next season of your life is going to be about. But maybe we don't know the details yet, or we don't have the plan, right? But we can't wait for the plan. We need to get up and start moving. The Ace of Swords is letting us know that the plan will be revealed to us as we go. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. And we're going to set it down right here with Mr. Ed, the little horse right there on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end. It will tie everything together and it will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any point during this program you may feel like you know what that card is, put your prediction, put that guess down in the comments, okay? Now, let's look around the room. I see very interesting major arcana. Going up the middle pillar here, we've got Hierophant, Fool, and the Devil card, okay? It is this Devil card, this motivation, that will bring the Fool to the Hierophant, okay? And that, I think, is an evolution of the Fool, right? The Fool obviously becoming the wise person, right? The beginner, the student, right? Kind of becoming the master. But then going from the top down, too, I feel like your true self right? Your ideal, the ideal version of you, your true self, higher self, whatever energy that would be for you, this sort of guiding principle in your life, is giving you the push, really, to take a leap, okay, and start climbing a particular mountain in your life. I think Spirit's saying it's a new era for you. It's time to begin going from a 10 to an ace. I think the 10 of Cups in the background here, this may not be anything super positive, really, right? Sometimes the 10 of Cups is just this feeling of I've had enough, or I've had too much of something. It's a card of satiety. It's a card that says, okay, I'm full. I want to get out of here. I've been at the restaurant. Maybe I've enjoyed the restaurant, and that's good. I feel nice and full. I want to leave. Okay? Sometimes this is a situation where we really did not enjoy ourselves, and we have had it up to here. I have completely had enough, and I'm out of here. So this is your call. This could go either way for you. But this is the recent past. The recent past energy was when things have reached their maximum capacity. And that's sort of when we know that it's time to kind of start something new. We get to a 10. What is a 10 but a return to unity? It's a return to the ace. Right? The 1 and the 0, the Fool is the 0 card of the tarot, right? The 1 and the 0 gives us the 10. So we have the 10. Well, we're going to do a 0 and a 1. We're going in the other direction. So the 10 is an emotional experience of which you've completed. Okay? There's no more capacity here for any more feelings. It's something has kind of run its course. It's as if we were at the restaurant and we've eaten probably more than we should have. We feel very full. And we know that it's time to move on from this. Okay? This could be a very good thing. It could have been something that we're kind of happy it's ending. Maybe we didn't quite like the meal. That's okay. It's over now. We're done. We don't have to linger. Okay? So there is a liberation. There is a transcendence of this. So I feel like we're putting something behind us. We're putting something that's been very emotionally demanding. Something that we cannot endure another minute of it. I couldn't eat another bite. Even if I wanted to, I couldn't do it. Okay? We're putting this energy behind us. So in a way, you're sort of you're shedding skin a little bit. I think you're leaving some baggage behind you. You're putting something in the rearview mirror. Whether it was very, very good or not, maybe it was a mix. Maybe some things were good, other things I didn't care for so much. But something's coming to an end. And I think that as this end gets further and further away, we feel a little bit more of this energy inside of us that sort of wants to be liberated. There's something that's built pressure up inside of you that now we're out of that restaurant. Now it's like, what are we going to do for the rest of the day? Maybe that 10 of Cups has given us some fuel. Maybe it was something or maybe getting it behind us. Maybe this is like a spring cleaning energy. Maybe it's like I've gotten rid of all that emotional baggage. And now I feel light. I feel free. I feel liberated. I feel this very creative and curious energy in me. And I want to go meet new people. I want to do new things. I want to find ways to challenge myself. I want to grow. I want to live. I want to find a mountain to climb. This is that devil energy inside of you. And the 8 of Wands is the devil here, just because the devil is the engine of the car. So to have that 8 of Wands is kind of like the engine's running, and now the driver of the car is like just revving the engine, like vroom, vroom, like come on, let's go. It's back in the day, you'd honk the horn maybe to hurry people up. But you just kind of rev the engine. It's just like there's this anticipation, there's this excitement, there's like a restlessness, and it's saying, okay, I'm ready to go now, Because the devil energy just wants to climb the hill. It just wants something to do. The engine of the car just wants to be used. It wants to feel the power, right? You put the goat in front of any mountain, it's going to climb the mountain all the way to the top, because that's what it does. That's its nature, right? To create, to release energy in this way, to use the muscles, and that's its true nature, is to create. And I think that you feel this impulse inside of you that's saying, okay, I'm glad I'm done with that 10 of Cups. That was too much. That food was too rich. It was too heavy. I couldn't handle another bite. I'm happy to be done with that phase of life, or that relationship, or that project, or that work, or that baggage, or that issue, or that whatever, right? And now it's kind of like, what mountain are we going to climb today? We feel this motivation, okay? And I think that we have to understand what's motivating us, because sometimes your princesses over here, princess of swords and wands, they just kind of, they don't care what mountain we're climbing, as long as we're climbing something, And so we don't want to be led around by our impulses, okay? We don't want to be led around by our ego, let's say. We want to make sure that the mountain we're climbing next, whatever task, whatever quest we're going to be undertaking, is meant for us. So we're trying to get some guidance from our higher self, or even from this some kind of an ideal. Okay. We're looking for our future self, and we're trying to say, okay, who do I want to become? Right? What am I trying to do with myself now for this next season of my life? It's kind of, in a way, it's like we've done the spring cleaning, we've cleaned out the basement or whatever. Now, what do I want to put in there? What do I want to furnish it with? Maybe maybe there's now an empty room in our house, and the Fool is that kind of, that fresh energy. It's a renewed energy. It's the empty room. It's saying, okay, what do I want to fill it with? Who do I want to become? What do I want this to be? Is it an art studio, a music studio? Is it a library? Is it a meditation room? Is it a music room? Like, what am I going to fill myself with now? So in a way, after the restaurant of the 10 of Cups, we very soon start to get hungry again. And the Fool doesn't care what it eats, right? The Fool doesn't care what the experiences are, just wants novelty, right? Just wants something new that will occupy its attention. Just like the Devil card doesn't care what mountain we're climbing, as long as it gets to use its muscles and use the horsepower of the engine, So instead of being led around by our ego, we're trying to find a quest. We're trying to find something worthwhile to apply our energy to now. So it feels like a spring cleaning, that now it's like, okay, I've done that. Now what's the plan? What are we going to do? What do we want to do? Who do we want to become? And I think you're trying to tap into your higher self, your true self, and get some guidance about kind of what is the next task for us? What is the next mission, the next project? And the Fool at first is kind of wandering around in a particular direction, without a particular direction, not knowing what the plan is. And that's the problem with the Fool. It's just a feather on the wind. It's just a cork on the ocean, But when we do come to a realization about the next season of your life, or the next mission of our lives, I think that it's the equivalent of the Fool becoming a knight. Because the Fool is receiving this Ace of Swords. The Fool is stepping into this role of now I've got a direction. This is the compass. Okay, and I think that I think we know that we may not be able to see true north, but our compass can. Right, our spiritual GPS kind of knows what direction we're supposed to go, and I think it's the Hierophant that's giving. It's sort of, we're dubbing the Fool a knight. We're getting that kind of divine authorization for this next quest of ours. because we feel it's time. Now, maybe in between these two cards, maybe it's been months. Maybe it's only been a few days. Maybe, like me, you're hungry in 20 minutes. Whatever the time frame is, I think we're getting a green light from Spirit that says, okay, this is your next task. This is the next phase of your life. This is your next quest, your next objective. This is what you're in service to now. Okay, this could be, well, the idea maybe the kids have went off to college, and now there's this sort of, the empty room. There's this, some energy has returned to you. Okay, and now that returned energy, right, the fire energy right here in the middle, the fire in your belly, right, wants to go somewhere and do something. We're feeling restless. Okay, and this could be, maybe it's a retirement. Maybe this is, well, school's over, or the kids have gone off to college, whatever it might be. Okay, it could be something else. It could be a divorce. It could be that we've cleaned out some area of our life, and now all of that energy, that empty room, that time and space has come back to us, and we're looking for what to apply it to. Okay, and your true self will advise you. You will know what this thing is, and maybe the Fool's saying we just got to start wandering around a little bit. Maybe we just need to look at things and see what feels good, follow our curiosity a little bit, follow our impulses a little bit, until we get that green light, until we get that confirmation, until we get that the authorization from Spirit where it says, yep, that's the thing. It's kind of like a video game. You're wandering around, not really sure what you're supposed to pick up or where you're supposed to go. And then you'll see that little object in the corner of the room that's sort of glowing differently than the rest of the objects. And that's how you know, like, okay, that's what I'm supposed to pick up, Sort of feels like that. It feels like we have to sort of stumble around a little bit, experiment, follow our princesses, follow the ego a little bit, follow our kind of intellectual curiosity, follow our impulses and our desires, until we get that sanction from Spirit that says, yep, okay, that's the one. Pick that sword up. That is your mission now. Now you are a knight of the Holy Grail. So I feel like you're experiencing a big change in your life right now. I feel like you have experienced this fullness, and now that energy has come back to you, and I think right now what you're feeling is the restlessness and wondering what really to do with that. Okay. Now, Path of the Serpent. By the way, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. These readings are totally free. The Seven of Swords is your general energy. It's kind of like, well, I feel this fool energy, I feel this devil energy, and I'm kind of looking for the Hierophant, but if I don't have a plan, I'm not ready to leave the house. Sometimes this is a card of like, we're talking ourselves out of it because we like to have the GPS coordinates. We like to have the turn-by-turn MapQuest directions. We don't have that now, and I don't think we're going to get that. So we're not really sure. Maybe we know who I want to become. I want to know, I know what I want, but I'm not sure how to get there. Okay? And the Seven of Swords is kind of saying, I'm not going to allow myself to go forward until I really know what the path is going to be like, until I know the terrain, right? We don't really like uncertainty. These two cards together, that gives us anxiety because of the uncertainty, because it feels like I don't know which direction to go. And so we're just like, again, we're kind of tap dancing on the shag carpet, right? But the Fool is just saying, I got to go in any direction, every direction. It doesn't really matter to the Fool as long as it's something different. As long as it's something new, the Fool is happy. Okay? But in our intellectual mind, of course, we have this worry of, I don't know which way to go. I don't know what obstacles I'm going to meet with on this path or that path or going that way or that way. Like, I don't know, right? So this is kind of an obstacle for us, is to go forward even though there's this resistance, this mental resistance. That we don't have the GPS. Well, we're just going to go walking around. What do you mean? We're going to get lost. Yeah, maybe that's the idea. Maybe we get lost a little bit. Maybe we have to get lost in order to find what we're looking for, you know. So this is the difficult, that's the difficult energy. Okay. In the environment, of course, we have the Princess of Swords. I think at first we're experimenting with different ideas. We're gonna dabble in a few different paths, see what feels right, see what fits. See, in this reading we have fire and fire and fire. We've got water behind us. We've got air and air and air. We don't really have any earth cards except for the Capricorn and Taurus. They're earth signs, but no pentacles. Okay, no pentacles and no other cups. So it's like right now it's just kind of like active experimentation, active engagement. The fire and the air are very active elements, and they're very exploratory. Fire and air just like to reach out into different things and see what feels good until it says, oh, okay, I like this thing. I'm going to keep this one. This is what, and Spirit will confirm that, and you'll see, yeah, this is the path for me. So it may be that we have to try different things. This is the card of experimentation. This is the card of our mind having a lot of good ideas. Well, let me explore some of these ideas and see what I learn about myself and see what my true self might be sort of telling me about certain things. Like we'll pick something up and you just feel it in your hand a little bit. You feel it in your mind a little bit, and you see what your soul tells you about it. Okay, and no, that's not the one. I want to put that one down. I'm going to try again. And the obstacle really is the Princess of Wands, because it's the same thing as not having the directions, right? Because the Princess of Wands will get bored with things very quickly. The Princess of Wands likes to start a lot of different projects, but will very quickly get bored of something. It's kind of the way a kid, if something isn't immediately fun, or if it's too difficult, or if they just can't figure something out, a kid will just say, I don't like it. I want to play with something else. You know, I think for kids, you kind of want toys that are like simple to figure out at first, maybe get harder as you go. It's kind of like the video game metaphor that we use, right? The first level of the video game is usually pretty easy because it wants to grab your attention and say, oh, wow, this is fun, this is cool. You get to level 2 and it gets a little bit harder. You get to level 3, it gets a little bit harder, but by then we're already invested, right? If it's too weird or difficult or not interesting at the beginning, within the first 5 minutes, and they say that about YouTube videos too, right? If you don't capture your audience in the first 30 seconds, it's gone, they're gone, right? That's the Princess of Wands. It's a lack of attention. If something isn't immediately gripping me, or if something is turning me off right away, I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to find something else. Okay. If it's not interesting, if it's too easy, I'll get bored real quick. If it's too challenging, I'll get bored real quick. It's got to be just the right type of captivating. Okay. Otherwise, we're going to just dabble in a lot of things and nothing's really going to grip us. So this is the problem, though, because we kind of need that. We need to give everything 30 seconds. Nope. 30 seconds. Nope. 30 seconds. Nope. And we got to find the thing that really does grip us. Find the thing that is basically like your Hierophant is putting the Excalibur in your hands and saying, that is the one, that's the sword, that feels right. Maybe we're searching through a lot of different swords here, a lot of different ideas, a lot of different intentions and curiosities, and we're picking up a lot of things until we find the sword that's like, hey, this fits perfectly in my hand. This one was made for me, you know? And so the Princess of Wands is a very necessary energy because we have to sample until we say, oh yeah, that's what I want to eat. You know, it's like you're at the ice cream shop. And all these unknown flavors. Well, the fool likes the unknown flavors, right? It doesn't matter which one as long as it's unknown to me. But our plan here is to sample a few of them until we decide, yeah, that Cherry Garcia, that one's mine. Give me a whole tub of that, you know. And I think that's where our difficulty lies, is invoking the Princess of Wands, but not stopping there. understanding that what comes next is that discipline and that commitment to something. Because again, the Fool and the Princess of Wands, those two together, oh, yeah, it's trouble, right? Because that's literally like we're just running around starting a whole bunch of things for 30 seconds and then never finishing anything, never committing to anything, never putting in that extra work to really make any progress anywhere. Okay? We'll never become the sort of, we'll never complete this particular task or this phase of life. We'll never really satisfy this energy. Okay? And we'll be restless forever. Right? We'll be restless forever. So the outcome here is that we have to have the discipline to stick with something. Once we find the sword that feels like it was made for us, it fits right in our hand, it's perfectly balanced. It's like Harry Potter finding the wand, you know, that was just meant for him. Then we have to really put in the work to bond with it and stick with it and make progress with it. Otherwise, the Fool and the princesses are just wandering aimlessly through life. Okay? Now, I want to look at the mystery card. I want to see maybe, I don't know, maybe a king of cups, right? Like a fixed water energy. Maybe fixed water or fixed fire, too, I think would be good. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments. Let's see. A 6 of Wands. Well, that's pretty well established, right? Because we have to go through the 5 to get the 6. 6 of Wands is victory after strife. The real harmony and joy and beauty and success. That feeling of victory, the feeling of accomplishment that the Princess of Wands will have if they could only go through the difficult period of like sticking with something even when now it's challenging. Now I'm getting frustrated because level 2, level 3, level 4 is harder and harder and harder. But I'm going to stick with it. And I'm going to get that reward. I'm going to get that payoff for sticking with something. Otherwise, the Princess of Wands, like I said, is just going to play something for maybe level 1, level 2. I'm done. Level 1, level 2. I'm done. We got to have the perseverance to go level 2, level 3, level 4, to push through when it gets difficult and our ego just wants to give up. We stick with it, and we'll get the satisfaction of that victory. Yeah. This is very interesting energy for you. I think it's a lot of fire, a lot of air. I think that it's really a refreshing time. It's a very active time. A lot of readings today, but very active readings. Yeah. I love this energy. We're going to do an extended reading too. We'll do an I Ching hexagram. We'll do some oracle cards. There's a link in the corner, and there's a link down below. New readings for Virgo on Tuesdays and Saturdays. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed, please consider hitting the subscribe button. These readings are totally free. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you, and we're all in this together.